Well, we now want to generate a plant schedule using a different technique to the one that we just showed you, where you put an arrow and a leader indicating each individual plant. gCADPlus gives you the ability to tag some plants and generate the schedule automatically, and the counting will be done for you. So to do that, we first need to load a plant list. So plant schedules and list, edit a plant list. Now I've loaded one here. It's called Ross Plant List GCP. Let's just see how you do that. You say open and you navigate to where you have saved the list. I've put this one in my temporary folder and I can load it, and in comes the list. You have botanical name, common name, type and a code. You can create those yourself, but it is easier to just export them from your personal plant data file. You can sort here if you want. If you clicked on type, you can see we've got all the climbers or vines together, and the grasses and so on, and the small trees and larger trees are sorted in that way. So the plant list is now attached. We'll say OK. You may be able to see at the bottom of the screen the name of the plant data list that is attached. So how do you use it? Well, you go back to gCADPlus, plant schedules and list. You're going to set a data to a plant. So you pick this one, which is meant to represent a bougainvillea. So you highlight the row containing the bougainvillea and say OK. And I'll hit the enter key now. You work your way through the symbols that you've put into the design. I right click to cancel from there. And what we want to see now are those symbols that we have tagged. And we can do that with a tool that's also in this group. This group contains all the tools you need to generate the list. So we can say, show me all the symbols that are names. And you can see a number of them have been highlighted. We haven't tagged that one, which might be an agave, and we haven't tagged this one either, or that one. So we've got a little bit more work to do. I'll just right click and unselect. But rather than just work tediously through that, I'm sure you can manage it. How do you draw the list? You simply go back to that group and say, I want to draw a plant schedule. If you look down in the command area, you are asked, would you like to plot the column with a red circle? I'll say yes by hitting the enter key, and the common name under the botanical name, yes. Now input the first point of the plant schedule and the bottom right hand corner. And you can see gCADPlus has gone away and is producing the plant list. It puts the symbol there, does a count, and there is a number associated with it. We could break this plant schedule up. See, it's one entity. You could break it up, and some people like to get a symbol, say, with a 3 in it, and put the 3 over near this group. But we could certainly run the schedule again and say, no, we don't want to put that column in. So let's do that. We just say gCADPlus, plant schedule, and draw the plant schedule again. We'll say no, we don't want, type an N, we don't want the red number, and the first point, we just draw a similar schedule. I'll just change its size a little, and the schedule will be redrawn. It doesn't have the column of the red dots in it. So you've got some flexibility as to what you put in there. You can, if you want, pick it and scale it. We could scale by 0.5. You can also select it because it's a block. Let me just deviate a little. This is going to represent Acer palmatum. And it's a bit large, so we could select the symbol and we could scale it. Click in the middle and scale it by 0.5. Then we could select it again and right click and say edit that block, and we'll change the color of, we'll just select all of these. In fact, why not select all of that, and we'll change the color from a rather drab brown to a reddish color to represent some of the rather nice forms that are available. Now close the block editor, and there's our block being updated. You can update this block in the same way. You just select it like so, right click and edit that block. So you could change the height of the text in here if you wanted to make all of these pieces of text slightly larger. You could pick them all. The height is 53. We could change to 100, double the height of those. And that makes for a nicer looking plant schedule, and then we can close it. So I hope that gives you an idea of one method of producing a plant schedule in gCADPlus. So we've shown you you would use a leader, or you can generate the plant schedule in the way we've shown here.